This is my document number 5 of Introduction to Math Operations. We're going to be talking about numeric and expression functions. These are functions that are applied to expressions. And we're also going to talk about solving equations. But we're going to split it at least into two parts. And so for the first one, we'll start with this document. And we're going to talk about purely numeric functions. These are functions that I extracted from the function menu here from the category all, but eliminating those that are repeated in matrix, complex, trigonometric, hyperbolic, program, and strings and files. So these are the purely numeric functions that will appear in the all category. And these include the absolute value, the gamma function, the log base 10, the mod function, which actually calculates the remainder of two integers n over m, the n root, which is equivalent to this one, the n root I was mentioning is available right here. A function PERC calculates a percentage. This is simple to calculate. A function to generate random numbers uniformly generated between 0 and x. A function to round up x to n decimals. The function sign that is equal to -1 for a negative number, 0 for a 0, and 1 for a positive number. And the square root and the truncation that gives you not the real part but the integer part. The integer part of a number. These functions are simply typed into the into the document, and then you can apply the argument. I'm going to copy the names right here to present some examples in a new page. And the absolute value, you just have to type ABS and then enter the number, like -12, for example, give me 12. The gamma function is an advanced function in mathematics, used in some statistical calculations and some solutions of differential equations, and it's programmed for you in SMath Studio. It has the property that if the argument is an integer number, let's say 6, then it's equivalent to the factorial of n minus 1, minus a certain numerical error in there. Okay, then we have logarithm of base 10. Of any number. The remainder, when you take two integers, let's say m over n, it will give you a quotient plus a certain remainder divided by the denominator. And so the function mod, actually called modulus, it gives you the remainder. For example, if you say mod of 15(2), it's going to give you a 1 because the remainder of an odd number divided by 2 is 1. If you type mod of 12(2), gives you 0, and then you can use it to find the remainder of two integers. The mod of the number 2 can be used in programming to determine if a number is odd, in which case the mod is equal to 1, or is even, in which case the mod is equal to 0. The n root, as I mentioned, sorry, it's missing a TH in there. It has an extra H there. Sorry, I misspelled it. There it is. Understand what's the problem here? 27. Oh, I'm trying to define it. Let me start that again. Nth root of 27(3) is the cubic root of 27. Percentage. The percentage, 20% of 100 is 20, of course. A random number. say a random number between 0 and 1,000 will give you 1,000. Now, in many software, they give you random numbers between 0 and 1. How do you make a random number between 0 and 1? Let's call it R, random 1,000 divided by 1,000. Actually, you can do this for any number, like 100 divided by 100 will give you a number between 0 and 1. And then if you want a random number between A and B, what you have to do is redefine your random number as A, the lower limit, plus B minus A, multiplied by the random number, and then you decide after what number you want to go. So let's say 1,000 divided by 1,000. And so, for example, this will give you, the values of A and B haven't been defined actually, and so let's define A as -10 and B as +10. So you're finding a random number between A and B. If you repeat this calculation by deleting this result and doing equal again, it gives you a different number, because every time that you evaluate this, it's going to give you a different random number. Okay. And then you have the round function, round 25.343 to 3 numbers, to 3 decimals. Then you have the sign, and that's as simple as saying like the sign of a negative number is -1 and so on. The square root, we have used that before. And trunc simply extracts the integer part of a number. If I apply this trunc function here to the random number, I'm going to repeat that here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select the entire thing and here do Control X to remove it, put trunc parenthesis, Control V, and then it will give me integer numbers every time that I want to generate a random number. Okay, I'm going to go back to my other page, and so we presented these different functions. If you're interested in reading, you can pause the video and take a look at what I wrote in here about the gamma function is defined by this expression, for example, the modulus function, the root, the end root, and so on, and the truncation of a number. And so I'm gonna stop this video right here. I'm gonna split it into 3 parts actually, so it won't overwhelm you with too much information at once.